It's the witching hour, and that means it's time for Agatha All Along. The newest episode just dropped. We just watched it, hence the hair and all this look that we're going for, because it's very 80s this week. All right? We'll see you on the other side of this intro right now.
It was Agatha all along. But wait, there's more to this wicked song. Mr. Know-It-All's here to break it down with magic, mischief, and a spell-binding frown. So grab your broom, it's time for a spooky song as Mr. Know-It-All reviews Agatha All Along.
Man, I tell you what. What a fun episode.
I really liked this episode.
Right?
You know what's funny is while you were setting up, I'm like, he never answered my question.
What was the question?
When we were sitting, we can't answer it now.
Okay.
When we were sitting upstairs still, I go, okay, so what's your rating? And then you go, the internet's just crazy about this. Mm-hmm. So I never got your rating. So we'll have to discuss that. I was just like,
no, for sure. No, it's good stuff. So, okay, so the episode is actually pretty interesting. Everyone sort of wakes up where they were. Everyone fell asleep on the road. But just before that, we see the Salem 7 have entered the road.
Yeah.
So literally, it's like, oh no, they're there.
And I'm sitting there like naming off the animals. Like my family doesn't know what the names of these animals are.
We also get to find out, because remember, so in the very first episode, I said I knew the Salem 7 were from the comics somewhere, but I didn't really know.
Right.
So I didn't know much about them here in this context. And so we actually get their backstory.
When Agatha killed her original coven, she spared their young children.
Yeah, and then they became a feral, hive-minded coven bent on revenge.
Which is when Agatha killed her coven by accidentally absorbing their powers. That wasn't on purpose.
Which I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's
I didn't know. I didn't know that it automatically takes it. I thought she
had to do something.
Yeah, do something.
I don't want to go so far as saying she's a mutant, but it's an innate ability. This is not a magic spell.
And her mother said she was born evil.
Right. So when she killed them, however, her old coven, she didn't kill their children. She left their firstborn kids alive.
Right.
So what happens? The firstborn are out for revenge, and they sort of got together and created this crazed
Salem
7 group that's out to get Agatha, for real. And so they're chasing them.
Yeah. Yeah, they are. They're chasing them.
Now, what does that mean? It means we get flying broomsticks.
That was, I
What a fun scene.
loved that scene.
They do a little bit.
And I don't care how cheesy everybody thinks it is. I don't care.
No, I thought it was cool. Especially
Them across the red moon, because it was a blood moon. I was like, I don't care. Y'all can think it's cheesy. I don't care. I loved it.
I thought that was very cool. And then especially because they got to do this little ceremony.
Yeah.
You can fly in a broom, but you got to give it to somebody else. You can't actually do it yourself. And so then, so once they do the whole thing, they take off. I loved when, I keep wanting to call her Lilia, the older, the divination lady. Mm-hmm. She's explaining, she's like, oh, this is such a cliche and blah, blah, blah. It's the worst.
Brooms have been co-opted by the holiday industrial complex as an absurd emblem of our culture. They're an obvious symbol of female domesticity. And they're basic.
It was hysterical. I liked it. I laughed.
But then they were all flying. It was very cool. So the only way to escape is to get to the next obstacle, the next test.
And T noticed it.
It's Agatha's test. Kind of. I say kind of because it was more directed at Agatha, not necessarily, it's more about Agatha, not necessarily her challenge.
Right. Because we originally thought with the first episode, with the first challenge, that was about Agatha, and it really wasn't. That was about Jen.
Yeah, agreed. I agree absolutely with that. As they go to the thing, she ends up, they're all in their 80s best, which is great. And so each of them has to, as they're looking around, they find a Ouija board. And the Ouija board has very specific instructions. One of them is don't antagonize the ghost, don't take your hands off the thing, you're going to release a spirit, whatever. Throughout this and that, they do release a spirit. It's not a good spirit either. It's Agatha's mom. And Agatha's mom possesses her, so she looks like, isn't she channeling Blair, what's-her-face from Exorcist in that?
Yes,
all that.
Oh my God. Oh, yeah, she does. She does. Oh, my God. All she had to do was just be a little greener.
Yeah, legit. But then, so then finally, and come to find out that what they want is for everyone to get released, they have to
Punish Agatha.
Leave her with me.
No! No way!
And Agatha's like freaking out. So as her ghost mom possesses her, Alice immediately starts doing
Forget
magic
she's not
stuff.
supposed to do that.
She does magic-y stuff to try to save Agatha. As the energy goes through and shoots her mom out of her body, shoots Agatha's mom out of Agatha's body, the energy is now going through Agatha. Like we said before, now it turns purple. Yeah. And Agatha begins to, because when clearly it's pleasurable feeling when she's absorbing power.
I'm sure it's like a euphoria.
Right. So again, I don't necessarily think she was doing it on purpose. I think it just sort of happens, but obviously in the throw of the moment, so everyone turns on her.
Yeah.
Like everybody's turning on her.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you think I don't know if Agatha can control it when it happened that way with Alice, because I remember in the first couple, I don't remember which was 1, 2, or 3, I don't remember,
But
when they said she gets power by you using your power. So don't shoot your power at her. Like it was like, if it was Alice, it was orange. So we'll say her little streams were orange.
Sure.
So as they're shooting them, she would be shooting them and then she would stop. And then Agatha could throw it back. Am I correct? Because I feel like there's this disconnect now that they believe that Agatha believes that she has no control over it. Or do you know what I'm trying to say? I don't know if I'm making myself clear.
I don't know that she has control of it. I know that when I think it's an involuntary thing. I think she's very happy it happens and she kind of owns it when it does. But this was a different kind of case because Alice was obviously trying to save her.
Right.
Plus, it clearly upset what's-his-face. It upset Teen.
Yeah.
Through this and that, she ends up, she leaves. And because as she's trying to do stuff, another ghost shows up. It's Nicholas Scratch. It's her son.
Yeah, it's her son.
And her son essentially is like, please, Mom, stop. And so she stops. And everyone's mad at her, this and that, and she storms out. And when she says goodbye to the ghost, and then the Ouija board says goodbye, and then the little door hatch opens up, and she leaves. She leaves, Teen leaves, Jen leaves, and Lila leaves. And so I don't think the others didn't leave. They just weren't in this final scene. Teen confronts Agatha.
Killing people to serve your own agenda. Not for me.
Are you sure?
And Agatha flat out tells him, you're just like your mother.
You're so much like your mother.
And he proceeds to get upset. He possesses with his blue power energy, which those of you playing at home who've watched WandaVision, you may remember what blue looks like, where that comes from. And he possesses Jen and Lila, who then trap Agatha, stick her into like a bog, and she gets like sucked down into this mud. At that point, he takes the other two, launches them into the mud, and then we close up on his face.
Very Wanda-like.
Very Wanda-like, and he's got a little crown, which looks very much like Wanda's crown, which anybody who plays at home, Wiccan also wears a very similar type set. Wicca, rather, the guy from the comic books, who I believe he is. I think they've basically confirmed it's Billy. This is Billy. This is Agatha's, Wanda's son.
Not Agatha's, like I swore up and down it was. Sorry, guys, if my prediction was wrong.
No, it's great. Half the fun is just predicting stuff,
absolutely,
you know?
absolutely.
So,
I had fun with this.
No, yeah, it was good. And so, yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. I was I liked, this episode went by at a decent clip.
Yeah.
It was 25 minutes long in terms of just up until the credits started, but I'm okay with it. Again, why are you okay with it, Mr. Know-It-All? Are you being a hypocrite? Okay, no. When I talk about shows like, let's say, I'm going to use like Secret Invasion or of course, obviously The Acolyte, but other ones, or Obi-Wan that had half-hour episodes, other things that have had half-hour episodes, this was a wonderfully good use of that 25 minutes.
Uh-huh.
They packed a ton of things into that 25 minutes. Everything from, we learned the origin of the Salem 7. You got to see them fly across the blood red moon and then Aubrey Plaza does her witch laugh. which I thought was great.
That was so funny. She did her waist. I loved it.
But the other thing you forgot to talk about is when Alice also did the thing, Stanley, who watches nerd fights, this one's for you, Alice dies. So the character that a lot of you complained about in the comments, you didn't know why she mattered or why we're supposed to care, good. She's gone. So don't worry.
That's why she mattered.
But it's so bad. Like the way. So now we got Mrs. Hart and Alice that are gone.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, before it's all said and done, ain't gonna be many more of them left.
What I'm telling you here is, did you notice that? Do we have a name for Aubrey Plaza's character?
Rio.
It's Rio. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's Rio. Did you notice Rio was nowhere to be found when everybody was being sunk into the bog?
Right. No, she does. She's
gonna get them out. Like, Teen's gonna take off.
Well, and again, if you go by the trailer images, remember Agatha in images we've seen from later episodes is dirty, covered head to toe. So I guarantee you she's gonna get sucked out of that somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Agatha's got to figure it out. She's things are looking bad, but at the same time, I don't know what they're gonna do, because obviously the Salem 7 are out on their heels. And the road is not letting them go, because when they were flying, the road forced them back down.
Yeah, even though they were following the path of the road said, down. I did jump. I'm not a scaredy cat, but I did jump. We got my scare factor in, so I like that too.
Right on, man. Is there anything else you want to you think
we talked about everything. Like, that's how good the episode was. We were able to cover everything quickly too.
I don't have any issues with, there was no issues with story, no issues with pacing. Again, wonderful use of 25 minutes. So there you go. Now you know. And if no exams the battle, you're halfway to being a know-it-all yourself. What is the know-it-all index for this episode? I'm going to go first this week, because you went first last week. I'm giving this a solid 9.
As we go down, down, down the road, down the witch's road.
This episode was amazing. I thought it was worth every bit of it. I'm only giving it a 9 because I believe there's going to be better, higher places to go, and I don't want to blow my entire, so to speak, collective wad on this and be like, 9.5 or 10 or whatever else. I want somewhere to go, because I do believe bigger things are coming.
What episode was this? 4? 5?
Yes, 5.
Okay. Yeah. How many episodes do we have?
8.
Oh yeah, we've got a lot more coming.
Yeah, man. So they got to cram a lot more things in 3 episodes. But what is your score?
9.
As we go down, down, down the road, down the witch's road.
9. Yeah, and then, like you, I really wanted to give it a 9.5, but I was like, I know there's so much more to come.
Yeah, there's got to be. There's got to be good stuff coming. But yeah, comment below. Let me know what you thought about the episode. What's your score? Are you enjoying having this in the month of October? Because I know I am. The final 2 episodes will air the day before Halloween, and I'm excited for that. So I feel like it's a good opportunity to spend this month in a creepy, scary place. Are you watching Halloween movies? We are.
We totally are.
Would love to see your lists or hear some of the things you guys are watching. But yeah, until next time, I can't wait for next week.
I know.
Never forget.
Everyone loves a know-it-all.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.